All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to talk about list methods. So Python has a set of built-in methods that you can use on lists. So here are the following methods that they have that you can use for lists. Okay, so they have append. So append will add an element at the end of the list. Clear removes all elements from the list. Copy returns a copy of the list. Count returns the number of elements with a specified value. Extend adds the elements of a list or interval to the end of the current list. Index returns the index of the first element with the specified value. Insert adds an element at the specified position. Pop removes the element at the specified position. Remove removes the item with the specified value. Reverse reverses the order of the list. And sort sorts the list. So all these methods, not all of them, but most of them we have covered throughout this section of lists. However, what I want to use this video for is a review of the ones that we've learned and also an introduction to the ones that we haven't used. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to jump over to our notebook and let's check it out there. All right, welcome back. We're inside our list notebook and this is going to be a lot of fun. So what I want you to do is comment out list methods, okay? And so we're going to go down one by one, looking at all the different methods that I mentioned in the PowerPoint of exactly what do they do and why should we use them and why are they important and all that good stuff. So first we're going to talk about append. So append adds an element to our list. So for our example, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to grab our list and I'm going to copy that down here, okay? So let's just copy that down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to type in our list.append and we're going to add a company to the end of this. So for this example, let's do Twitter, which is what we did when we were going through this earlier in the section. So when I print this, now we have Google, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So this is a list methods. And this specific method is the append method. So we'll do append method. Okay. That way you have some notes when you're like, wow, I want to use the append method. You look in your notebook and you got it. Okay. Now let's look at the clear method. So the clear method removes all elements from the list. Okay. So for this, what we would do is we would just copy all this. In fact, we can copy this too. We'll just copy all of it, and then we're going to cut some of the text out and change it around the way that we want. So for example, instead of append, it would be clear method, right? And instead of having all this, we're just going to have our list, and it's going to be .clear with no content inside here. Okay, now when I run that, we should have an empty bracket, which is exactly what we have. And that's exactly what I wanted to show you because, again, we're just talking about, we're reviewing a lot of the things that we've already done, okay? But the reason why we're reviewing it is so we remember these things, okay? So the next one I want to do is copy method, okay? So with this one, we're going to copy our list. Okay, we'll paste it down here. And then below that, I'm going to do x equals our list dot copy. Okay, and then we'll print x. And x should be Google, Facebook, and YouTube. Okay, if it runs correctly, and it works. So there you go. That's how you use the copy method. Now the next method is the count method, which returns the number of elements with the specified value. So let's run that one. So we can return the number of times the value of Google appears in our list, okay? So what we would do is, again, we're going to copy this, and we're going to copy this right here, just so we have the starting elements, and we'll change this to count method instead of copy method, okay? And what we're going to do is we have our list, Google, Facebook, and YouTube, and we're going to do x equals our list dot count and then Google. So I want it to look for Google, and then let's print x. And when we do that, we should get Google. So when I run that, what happens? We get one time Google appears. Okay? So it's not going to give you the value, it's going to give you the number of times the value appears. Okay? Then let's look at the extend method. So the extend method, you can add the elements of a list or an interval to the end of the current list. Okay, so we can extend our list and add more information on there. So for example, if I wanted to, let's copy this again just so we have that information. If I want to extend this, okay, so we have our list here, and then let's say we have companies, okay, equals, and I want to add other companies, other tech companies to this. So we want to do Microsoft, we want to do Apple, we want to do Twitter. But Twitter needs to be in quotes. Okay? So I add all these, and then what we do is we do our list dot extend. So what we're saying is we want to grab our list, which is Google, Facebook, and YouTube. We want to extend that and add companies to it. And then we want to print our list, okay, which should show Google, Facebook, and YouTube, Microsoft, Apple, and Twitter. Let's see if that cooperates with us, and it does. Beautiful. And that's how you can extend your list, okay, which again, we talked about a lot of this. So this is just review, but it's a good thing to review so it's fresh in your mind, you know, when you're using lists. Then we have index method. So the index method returns the index of the first element with the specified value. So with this, we want to know what is the position of the value YouTube. Okay, so with that, what we would do is, again, we're going to copy the first two lines of code here just so we can expedite this a little bit. We're going to change this to index, and then what I'm going to do is we're going to type in below here x equals our list dot index, and we're going to do Google. Okay, and then we'll print x. Okay, we'll run that, and now we get our position of the value Google is 0 because remember, it starts at 0. The index is 0, and then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. Okay? So that's how you use the index method. Now the next method we're going to talk about is the insert method, which adds an element at the specified position. Okay, so with this one, we can insert the value Twitter as a second element of our list. Okay, so if I do that, let's grab our list again, okay, and let's change this to insert. Okay, so we have our list, and then below that, let's do our list dot insert, and then let's do 1 comma Twitter. Okay, so that's going to be the position. Then we're going to print our list to see the updated changes. And now we have Google, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Now, if you wanted Twitter to be first, then you would make it 0. Okay? You'd set it to the index, which is 0, and then it would cooperate with you and get you what you wanted. Okay? Now we have, after the insert method, we have the pop method, which removes the element at the specified position. Okay? So with pop, we can remove the second element of our list, which is Twitter. Okay? So we added it. Now we can subtract it, basically. So I'm going to copy all of this now, and we're going to change this to pop method, okay? And instead of our list.insert, we're going to do pop. And we're going to just give it a value of 1. We don't need to define Twitter. Now, what it's going to do is instead of deleting Twitter, it'll delete Google, okay? Because Twitter was added to our list with the insert. So if I do this, and I keep this in there, okay? So let's say that we keep the insert in. So I add Twitter, and then our list, we're going to pop it. It's going to remove it. Now, what I want to do is let's print it twice so we can see both results, okay? So we have our list, and then we're going to do our list.pop, which will remove Twitter, so you'll see it. So we have Google, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and then I write out our list.pop1, which is Twitter, okay? So now Twitter's gone. There you go. So that's how you use the pop method. Then we have the remove method, which is the same exact thing. It removes the item with the specified value. So it's not the position, it's the value. So it's asking for the value of the list. So for this example, we want to remove Google from our list. How would we do that? We would do it like this. We would go here first. We're going to copy our code again. Okay, and again, this is the remove method. So our list, and we're going to remove Google, right? So we're going to do our list.remove, and we'll do Google. So we're giving it the value that we want it to remove. And then we print our list, and what happens? We don't have Google anymore. Now we just have Facebook and YouTube. And there it is. It's a beautiful thing. Okay? Now, the next thing is reverse. So the reverse method, I should say, reverses the order of the list. So let's say that we wanted to have YouTube first, Facebook second, which it's always going to be because there's 3 of them, and then Google last. We can do that. All we need to do is use the reverse method. Okay, so I'm going to use these. I'll tell you what, we'll copy all of it, and then we'll just change out what we need. So we got reverse, and then we have our list, Google, Facebook, and YouTube, our list.remove, so we're going to do .reverse. Okay, so we want to reverse, and we don't need a value here because we already know that we want to reverse our list. Then when we print it, we're going to have YouTube, Facebook, and Google. That'll be the new order. So you have YouTube, Facebook, and Google. Okay, so it works exactly how you want. Then we have sort. So sort will sort the list. Okay, and it will sort the list alphabetically. So for this example, and again, we went over this, so this is just a review, but it's going to put this in alphabetical order. So we'll sort it, and let's do sort here with no values in there, and we'll just let it run. And when we do that, it's going to give us Facebook, Google, and YouTube. It's going to make it alphabetical, put it in alphabetical order. Okay? So that is a review on list methods. So again, to review real quick, we talked about the append method, the clear, copy, count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove, reverse, and sort methods. And these are all crucial and very important methods that you can use that are already built into Python for working with lists. So you have a lot of tools at your disposal. It's up to you how you use them, but again, I just wanted to show you what was out there. All right? So that's list methods. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.